Welcome to the Scale Model Podcast. In this podcast, we aim to entertain, inform, and promote the hobby of scale model kit building with interviews, reviews, and news about the hobby. The podcast is available bi-weekly where your favorite podcasts are found, including iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. You can also get it from our website at scalemodelpodcast.com, where you can find show notes, photo gallery, and so much more. You can also subscribe to get notifications on all our updates, new episodes, and video content. Please support the Scale Model Podcast on Patreon. Patreon supporters enjoy early access to content and exclusive contests. Your Patreon support helps us to offset hosting and other costs to bring the podcast to you. Welcome to episode 112 of the Scale Model Podcast, sponsored by Cult TV Man, Sean's Custom Model Tools, and Return to Kit Form. My name is Stuart Clark, and I am once again joined by a stellar cast of characters. Even though Jeff's not here tonight, I know that's what we keep saying. First of all, yeah, Jeff's doing the family thing because he has to be the cool grandpa and all that, and we don't mind. Give him a break. And returning from his brief hiatus, he has indeed beaten death. Death cannot keep him down. He just comes back from a little bit west of Chicagoland. It's Mr. Terry Measley. How are you, sir?
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm doing much better.
That's good. There might be the odd hack, you said.
I'll try to 100%. Hit my mute as much as I can.
There you go. That's all right. If not, we'll just tell you to stop smoking those cigars.
Bronchitis.
Okay. And you as our official show booker, who else did you find? I think I recognize this.
Welcome. The return of Paul Bodenseek.
There he is, everybody. Yeah, he runs that. He runs that little company I've heard of. Paragraphics. That's it.
Paranormal,
Paragraphics, home of all your paranoid, home of all your sci-fi and photo etch and all sorts of goodies. But we're going to be talking about that in a little while. Yep. No, Paul volunteered to come in at the last minute and be our third banana. So we have 3 bananas tonight. So, all sorts of cool things. So as always, thanks to our Patreon supporters, patreon.com/Scale Model Podcast. Get you in advance notice of things. And also we had a super secret Sean's Custom Model Tool Goodman Model sanding block draw for just the Patreon supporters. So what I did was I basically ran everyone's name. I assigned a number to each of them, threw it into random.org, and I came up with Robert Lara. Robert's actually a very long time Patreon of the podcast, so we really appreciate it. So I'm going to be reaching out to Robert to get his address, and then they will be sending his package down to him. So again, thanks for all the Patreon supporters. We still have a few more things, but you know what I was thinking, Terry? I was thinking we are sponsoring a category for Heritage Con. I think the winner of that category is going to get a super sanding block set. I've decided.
Okay, hey, that's great.
Yeah,
that's a fantastic piece. I've got one.
I know, wonderful things.
Yep.
So yeah, all right. Heritage Con, less than a month to go. Our first good show again in Canada. I am absolutely pumped. I'm excited. There are actually a bunch of shows going to be starting again in Canada, but Heritage Con is the first, and many people consider it, even though we don't call it the Canadian Nationals, it's kind of the equivalent, held at the absolutely gorgeous Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum. What more can we say? Just a beautiful spot to have a show. March 26th, Sunday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Hamilton, Ontario. Going to be some very cool things. And they've also announced some exciting guests. They're going to do a couple of seminars. So first of all, armor weathering with, that character Panzermeister 36. He's going to be there, and they're going to do that. And then also Chris of Lifram 46, or Lifram 48, he'd kill me if I said that, of 72. He's going to be there doing a seminar on weathering. So 2 very good giants in the YouTube modeling space, 2 very talented individuals are going to be doing that. In addition, we're going to be there, obviously, but also our friends from Plastic Model Mojo, Mike and Kentucky Dave. So we might look at, if there's time and room, we might look at doing a podcast Q&A with both podcasts. So lots of reasons to come, not to mention a wonderful raffle table, amazing kits. Bring your camera. Just amazing things to shoot at. As I've said many times before, home of one of only 2 flying Lancasters in the world. So, and it will be in the hangar. So make sure you take advantage of that. It's going to be an absolutely amazing time. Wonderfest. It's coming up quick too. You don't realize, but it is. Again, more exciting.
93 days.
Yeah.
93.
It's right around the corner.
There you go. 93 days. But who's counting? Apparently, my guests are. Apparently. So they have announced another guest. Terry, you go ahead and pronounce it. I don't want to slaughter it.
Darren Doctorman.
Okay, and he's a concept artist, visual effects.
Yeah. So he's concept, visual effects, all that kind of stuff for a lot of stuff you need. Currently on Star Trek Picard, but also Westworld, Star Trek Beyond. Even back to Master and Commander. That was
Well, and I see here he's
the effects
also
on that were astonishing.
Yeah, they were, and I also see he was visual effects supervisor for the director edition of Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Yeah.
So that was gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't know if he was there last year. He's been before. So it's turning up. There's a lot of guests, and
very
like
exciting.
we like to say, these are our guests. There are actors there. Nick Tate's there, and his current headshot is the exact same smirk as his headshot from 1999. It's hilarious.
Well, that's great. I know. And you were mentioning something about Friday classes are filling up.
Yeah, Friday classes are filling up. I've got the note here, but they're saying 2 more classes are coming soon.
Wow!
Amazing Figure Modeler is doing another boot camp.
Okay.
And Stephen Burns is putting together another 3D modeling class.
That'll be exciting because that is so big right now. 3D modeling, particularly in the sci-fi realm.
Tag Teams, sci-fi modeling school sold out.
Okay.
There's a couple as of March 4th. There were a couple of seats left in the Blackheart Badger airbrushing and finishing class.
That's always a good class.
Both of those, you actually, the piece is ready for you to paint, and you're working there with experts who are their sole purpose is to help you learn.
Yeah, that's an awesome class. I've always heard good things. And, the Canadian Embassy will again be open. A lot of people coming down. I know, Terry, you're going down.
Yep, I'll be there.
We have a few other characters from our local club going down. And I still have to get it around my head that this is the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, and it'll be celebrated.
So. Oh, yeah. That's Return of the Builders, they're saying. So that's June 10th and 11th in the wonderful city of Louisville, Kentucky at the Crowne Plaza Hotel.
Crowne Plaza is sold out, but there are other hotels nearby.
Always a popular one. So make sure we are going to have some of the organizers on, as we always do, because we really love supporting this, because this is one of our absolute core shows. We just love it. And I believe, Paul, you will be down there in your trademark yellow shirt.
Yep.
All right.
I will be there. I'm sure that people's eyeballs get seared out the entire weekend.
Good. Are you going to be vending?
No. Just
you as you normally do.
So many vendors there who are carrying my stuff.
That's true. Yeah.
And it's like, why would I take money out of their pocket?
Exactly. But you know what? They might come by and want you to sign boxes or something. You never know. Just saying.
It could happen.
It could happen. And we could set up a table and, $10 a signature.
This will be my 16th year. Well,
16th
15th
year.
Because one year we didn't have it. But
exactly.
And that's never happened before, but it could happen.
It could happen. One never knows. Exactly. Yeah. So that's going to be wild. Like I said, look for him in his trademark sear your eyeballs out yellow shirt and say you heard him on the Scale Model podcast. Exactly. Absolutely. All right. Let's see here. Okay, the mailbag. We were talking last week, actually last episode, about the new Trumpeter Dauntless. Or sorry, not the Dauntless, the Devastator, the TBD 1/132nd. So I knew, and we asked for some information from our listeners. So Ken Freund, as he says, FYI rhymes with joint, out of Montana, USA, he wrote us in. Been listening since the first little announcement popped up on my podcast feedback in 2018, and fourth time. You and Aussie Dave have been my go-to in the days when we wandered the desert looking for scale model podcasts. I trust all is still going well deep in the basement of Goodman Industries. I thought I'd take a moment to share a fun fact about the upcoming Trumpeter Devastator. Yes, my favorite subject, by the way. It was first announced back in December 2005. Wow. So, yes, we've been waiting a long time for this one. From the test shots I've seen, it looks like they scaled up the Great Wall Hobby Kit, complete with mistakes like the all too long landing gear legs and holes in the fuselage for footsteps. Monogram released their 48th offering in 74. The 72nd Airfix kit dates back to 69. Both have been re-released by other manufacturers, but for the longest time, that's what we had. Valium released a 72nd in 2005, and of course, Great Wall released their 48th in 2012. And recently, Hobby Boss, I missed this. They're doing a 48th kit they're doing one in 48, but he strongly suspects it's going to be the Great Wall Hobby plastic rebox. Anyway, thought I'd share that. 17 years is a long gestation period for a plastic kit. Yeah. I wonder if any of our listeners can tell us this. Can anyone beat 17 years for an announcement to an actual kit being released? That would be interesting.
Boy,
right?
that didn't just never happen.
Yeah, and then they finally did or something,
Yeah.
I know.
Well, that moon suit that's supposedly coming from Monarch.
Yeah.
That was announced 15 years ago.
All right. So that's close.
That was in 2008. So it's, give them another couple of years and
yeah. If we actually see it. All right, there you go. There's one. Yeah. So can anyone beat 15 or 17? Let us know. And all the other stuff, scalemodelpodcast@gmail.com. All right. Let's move up to some of our goodies here. What's some of the latest modeling news that is out there? Takom teased this the last 2 weeks. They did another silhouette, and people guessed it pretty damn quick. They've shown the CAD forms, the M103 A1 and A2 scale and 1/35th scale. So they have CAD images. Exciting apparently for the armor guys. Late 40s designed. So post-war tank. It's been a while since anything like this has been out, the M102s.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so no, it looks cool as normal. Our friends at the Modeling News have a nice write-up on it. So I know some people, armor modelers, will be very excited about this. They haven't includes photo etch. They haven't included when it's going to come out. The A1 variant features an all-new hull, new road wheels, suspension parts. The escape hatch under the hull is a new part. The tracks are made up of 7 parts each, but are workable. So how to go insane. Assemble 7 parts per track. But you know what?
Please tell me that's not 7 parts per individual
tread.
Yes. It is.
Yeah, it is. But the armor model is still like it.
Yeah.
Includes the middle barrel. That's what they do. Hey, we mask cockpits in the aircraft and sci-fi world. They do that. So, and then you have the A2. Looks good there. Some different parts there. Oh, and they're saying it should be released in just under a month's time if regular patterns are followed. So keep an eye on Takom's website for that. All right, Hobby Boss, some of the monthly releases. Hobby Boss has a Hurricane Mark 1 and 1/48 scale. A lot of people doing Hurricanes.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. Some nice schemes here. Looks like 4 different schemes. Nice looking decals. Mast set included.
Yeah. I don't know enough about the subject to know whether this looks good or not, but
they mention here the rivet detail seems a bit prominent, and I have to admit it does. But for some people,
under
like
paint
that.
though,
that
looks fine.
That looks fine.
Yeah, it could just be that photograph too.
Yeah,
he looked at the photos, and it's very harsh lighting.
Yeah, and they bump the contrast and all kinds
of course
stuff.
They do. Yeah, but no, that'll be a nice to compare. Then we have in 1/72nd scale the 152 millimeter SHKH Dana version 7.7. This was developed by the Czechoslovakian army instead of producing 2 S3s. It was based on an 8x8 truck and was accepted for service in 81. By 94, over 750 had been produced. The driver and commander are seated in the front cabin, the two halves to the turret with the gun mounted in between. Yeah. So very fast, mobile, big gun.
Artillery, mobile artillery.
Mobile artillery. This looks nice, though. A lot of parts.
72nd scale. Little kit of a big artillery.
100 parts. 6 parts, rubber tires, etc. Okay, then next up we have in 1/72nd scale. I wonder if Kentucky Dave will like this. The F8 F2 Bearcat in 1/72nd scale. This is one of their easy assembly kits. So again, 2 schemes, decals. Yeah, it looks fairly straightforward. The fuselage is nice, kind of 2 parts. This is what they mean by easily assembly. So this will be a good one for a beginner modeler.
Yeah.
Not a high part count.
Landing gear with wheels molded in.
Yep.
Looks like the cow's got the engine molded in.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just
they're easy. Yep, this will be a good one.
Kit.
Yeah, this will be a nice one. 2
decals. That's a funky split too.
Yeah.
Doing the fuselage top and bottom.
Yep. Looks like VF-61 from the Franklin D. Roosevelt in 49 and the VF-151 from the USS Boxer in 1950. Yeah, they've released a few of these now. So
I'm honestly surprised they didn't mold it in blue.
Yeah, true.
For a super simple kit like this.
Even simpler, yeah. But yeah, very nice. If one just wanted to build one up quick to have it in the collection, this would be an excellent choice.
I mean, Bearcats are a very simple plane to start with.
Yeah, but no, so that should be coming out to dealers soon. Okay, of course, we mentioned Hobby Bus, so that, of course, means Trumpeter's got some of their announcements. How about an F-35A Lightning II in a big 1/32nd scale? It's listed as 151 US at HobbyLink Japan. So again, that's going to be large. Yep. So this is the A. And some nice looking schemes. Of course, Tamiya did their 148th recently. But again, also comes with a full-on weapon set. Lots of nice decals, though. Yeah. Stuff for the ornaments. 16 sprues, highly detailed engine, finely detailed cockpit. 48 centimeters in length, about 33 and a bit in width. So yeah, fairly big.
It's a bigger plane than it looks.
Oh, I know. That's one thing that always surprised me. Yeah.
It's just the features of it don't make it look big, but it's big.
The inlets look nice. One-piece inlets on either side from what I see there. Or pretty close, like less seams the better. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some nice looking detail there. So definitely for the larger plane fans and some photo etch. Okay, then we have, yet another Stug.
Hey, it's a Stug.
And in yet another one, our piece of armor in 1/16 scale. So this is the Off-G late production, the 2-in-1 kit, 188 US, but in the big 1/16 scale. Again, becoming the new big scale for the armor guys.
Yeah.
A couple of color profiles. Again, they'll be excited about it. I didn't get a chance to talk to my armor guy this week. He wasn't at our build. Well, we haven't had a build night this week, but yeah. So again, lower hull, you got some photo etch, got some cables, nylon wheel caps so you can have the tracks turn if one wishes. 1,470 parts. That'll keep you out of mischief for a while.
Yeah. Again, to your point, Paul, tracks.
Yeah, that's most of the tracks. Individual track links. Yeah. Yeah. Vinyl road wheels. Yeah. So that's going to be on sale soon through all the normal Trumpeter distributors. Okay. I think I briefly mentioned this last week or at the build night, but look, it's a Panther. Oh, wait, it's not a World War II Panther. It's the new Panther, the KF-51 in 135th from Amusing Hobbies. Yeah, so this is a brand. I haven't heard of this. So it's due for release. It's due for release in April. But yeah, this is a new concept. Battle tank was designed from the ground up. It's designed by the German company Rheinmetall. And it's brand new, latest generation.
I'm no expert, but the running gear looks like the Leopard 2.
It does, kind of, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I guess don't mess with something if you don't have to change it.
Yeah, exactly. 130 millimeter gun, optimized sensor to shooter links, the first main battle tank adopting an integrated survivability concept of on and off platform sensors. Dedicate top attack protection system. I assume that's from Ukrainian drones dropping mortars on one. The Panther's designed around a digital architecture complying with the NGVA standard. This is the key enabler for future decision support and automation systems.
So it looks like this thing actually carries its own targeting drone.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it's a multiple remote control weapon station, future gun system. Yeah, so this is all new.
Fascinating.
Yeah, this actually looks very nice, and the digital camouflage is gorgeous. I have to admit, it's at 59 tons. It's a masking nightmare, but who cares? But yes, as you say, it's a drone. Yeah, it comes with the UAV.
Yeah.
This looks very nice. I'd never heard of this, but again, I'm not an armor guy, but this is
right.
I'm sure this will be very exciting for people. Tracks of the kit are provided in a 4-part for each construction. So this beats the hell out of the original Panther tracks we have all suffered through. So 4 parts in this track. And again, out in April. So very cool. Very cool indeed. All right. Our good friends from Italy, Italeri. A couple of things. Some of these will be repops. Their latest in their trucks, the Scalena S770 and 124 scale. Nice looking logos on
it. Yeah, it's an attractive paint scheme on that.
A nice pearl blue. Tamiya callouts for those.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, very nice looking. Molded in looks like blue, black, and a gray. Mask sets, of course, a small photo etch sheet, 6 vinyl tires. So that's nice. And then we have in 1/72nd scale the AC 119K Stinger. This is the one they converted to the gunship before the C-130 came out with their own model. So basically a smaller version, but yeah.
There's a whole series of gunships.
Yeah.
And this was a very successful one.
Yeah. I call it, well, the passenger or the cargo was the flying boxcar. And
yeah.
2 20mm guns and 4 7.62 miniguns. So all Vietnam schemes, various, looks like 4 or 5, including, go ahead.
Is this all new?
I don't know if this is a repop or not, but it looks nice. I'll say that. Yeah. They're reissuing it. So yeah, that's good. You got some nice sprues with it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a repop and they've added some parts.
Yeah.
And decals. So that's, very nice from Italeri. Okay, then we have 1/35th scale, the DMAG D7 with a 7.5mm, looks like a howitzer behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Little tracked vehicle, half-track tractor. They used all sorts of places. 3 color choices. Army Group South, out in the desert, and looks like Northern Italy. So again, very nice. Yeah, it's a light howitzer, was designed to provide artillery support with infantry.
Right.
Normally you see like an 88 on this, but it's nice that they're putting something different. 9 figures are included too, so that's nice. Okay, and 1/72nd scale, the CR32 Freccia from Italeri. This is a nice looking kit because there's not a ton of rigging on it. Early part of the 30s, V12 cylinder. Among the most famous biplanes, by an extraordinary maneuverability. It was very strong, very reliable, and very well armed.
Mm-hmm.
By 5 color choices, some very attractive ones here. The normal and very nice Italian schemes.
Yeah, well, the Italian paint schemes were always gorgeous.
Yeah, they got one that looks like a bare metal one almost. And the green, the one in the dark green looks nice too, I have to admit. So yeah, nice looking decal sheet. You got a full on pictures. Again, we have those in the show notes. Definitely make sure you check those out. Okay. Also, speaking of things being towed in Germany, Mini Art, 1/35th scale, the T60R and crew towing a PaK 40 gun. Again, I've never seen one of these before. News to me. Obviously, the armor guys will know. This is looks like an older artillery tractor that was pretty well obsolete by 42. Looks like they basically changed it into a towing tractor. This was to fight enemy infantry. This was very suitable, but they used it as several roles: infantry support, prime mover for towing all sorts of goods, including towed guns. And that's what you get here. You get 5, looks like 5 figures. It's a new kit. 5 of Mini Art soldiers, mix and match with several kits to those wanting a diorama in a box. Yeah, so you got everything you need here. Some nice photo etch, 5 figures, the gun itself. Yeah, Yeah, Pack 40, very famous artillery piece. Yeah, that's going to be very, very, very nice. And then, yeah, what else do they have? They have some tank rider set coming out. British soldiers in the cafe they announced previously. There's the Pack 40, Polish traffic signs. They're making traffic signs for every country, every theater of the war. So, and then we have the Tempo E400, the three-wheel delivery box. French civilians in a cafe, the British B-type armored lorry, jerry cans. Yeah, all sorts of goodies there. Mini Art just keeps pumping them out. I don't know. I don't know where they put all this stuff. They must have either very small runs or, I don't know. But anyway, all right.
Or it just goes out the door as soon as they make it.
I guess. Yeah. Okay. Here's one I know Terry will be interested in. The P-47C, the Dora Wings. Someone's done the test build because we talked about this a couple of shows ago. So Dora Wings has released the test build. With the ferry tank.
Aeroscale has pictures.
Yeah. So what do you think, Terry? I've never seen one with the ferry tank before.
The ferry tank is great. It really it's cool to see that. And then of course they had a lot of other tanks and such, but the sea was important. Yeah. It's an underserved subject for sure. This looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like it's got little. What are the little things halfway down the fuselage? Looks like an exhaust vent or something.
Oh, that was the supercharger.
For the supercharger exhaust. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know much about P-47s. Otherwise, what they look like
was so huge, and the 43 before it because, the 43 the supercharger was underneath it, was exposed, but in the 47 it was a different design. It was all the ductwork was internal.
Right. Okay.
So the fuselage was mostly empty.
Interesting.
It had a couple fuel tanks and all that, but
yeah.
I mean, it was just a massive engine and supercharger.
Yeah, a massive beast, and these things could take an extraordinary amount of damage.
Oh, certainly could.
Yeah, and still make it home. So I have a feeling we may be seeing that in Terry's stash at some point in the future.
Yeah, the C was an unusual one. Not a lot of units used it. But
no, that's pretty wild. Like I said, I've never seen one with the ferry tank. That's pretty cool looking, I have to admit.
It's got 3 different cowls, too.
Yeah.
So they've got engine choices. That's interesting. Yeah. Well, I'll pick at least one of these up.
I saw that, and I saw that was screaming your name, so I had to make sure I included that. All right. Car kits are always tough to find information on because none of us are car modelers, but I did look at rocketfin.com, and they tend to update quite often. So just a couple here. I see AMT is going to do the brand new Series Ford Bronco in 2020, the 2021, the first edition. I have seen so many Broncos. I don't know what their sales numbers are like, but it's proving to be very popular for Ford's lineup. I believe it's based on the Ranger chassis. So they've got that. The first edition 125th looks like a 71 Mustang Boss 351. The 66 Shelby.
GT 350. I love it.
And then an easy build of the 92 Silverado. A 68 hardtop. I think we talked about this one before. I've mentioned it for our friends at Cult TV Man. This is the Batmobile, but it's the time the Penguin and then the Catwoman, I believe the Joker, stole the Batmobile. And it includes the figures with the umbrella. Him putting the umbrella over it. So that'll be fun. Yeah, all sorts of neat little things coming out. Atlantis is re-releasing a lot of stuff. Tom David's Sidewinder, a custom show rod, so there's a lot. Nostalgia is huge, absolutely huge. So, I recognize a few of these from when I was growing up. So, yeah.
There's a lot here.
Yeah, and then Serrano's models, they've got the Austin Cindric, the 2023 Mustang for NASCAR. So for this season, a couple of different ones. So yeah, all sorts of goodies there. So definitely check those out. A lot for the car modelers still. All right. And then we talked about the Special Hobbies Vegan last week, and because there's a good fan base. They've got box art now, or they had box art last week. Now they're showing what comes in the box. So this is the trainer version, and 48 scale. And a Vegan is just a gorgeous kit to begin with. Very unique aircraft. So
I love all the Saab aircraft. I mean, they do things their own way.
Yep. So they did release
just
some
like
box
my old
art.
Saab car.
Yep. Yes. Exactly.
How was the electrics on that?
On my Saab?
On your Saab, yeah.
Oh, fine, because it was all pre anything. It was,
Okay. I've had friends who have had them and have had nothing but problems with
oh, well,
electronics.
mine was a 74 Saab 99.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
That
yeah,
was
very nice.
9 years old when I got it.
Mhm.
So
Those were nice. Saab always made nice cars. I like the unique design of them.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and they
just
were comfy.
Yep.
And that car, I did $120 down the Jersey Turnpike in that on the way home. And that was in a 9-year-old car back in the early 80s.
And it wasn't a tailwind downhill?
No. And it was sitting there going like, come on, there are still 3 inches to go before the pedal hits the floor.
Oh, God.
And then I'm like, I should really slow this down.
Yeah,
and then it's doing 70 the rest of the way home for another 4 hours from, just west of New York City. It's like, oh,
that's awesome.
God.
Oh, God. Good for you. Yeah, you don't really want to make your acquaintance with the local constabulary on the turnpike, especially in Jersey. Yeah, exactly. No sense of humor is those guys, I tell you. Absolutely none. All right. I'm just kidding for our members of law enforcement listening to this. So yeah, as well, they're going to have special hobbies. Of course, we'll have masks, resin detail sets. They're also going to have resin figures of the ground crew, the instructor sitting in the cockpit, and a trainee pilot with a styrene made ladder. So yeah, everything you need. If you like this aircraft, you're gonna enjoy what's coming soon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got one of the earlier special hobby Figgins.
Yeah, they make nice stuff.
But I'm a big fan of the 2-seaters. So
yeah, you may have to consider that as well. You know what what I've said before I like about special hobbies is I get weekly updates and they update their website. It's not just on Facebook. So I think that's absolutely awesome that they do that. So I always like giving them just a little bit of extra scale model podcast love. Okay, speaking of another favorite company of ours, and I think Terry did a pre-order. Katero announced actually today that their 1/32 scale Spitfire Mark 1A has been released, and it will start to wing its way to fans worldwide, including Terry. Now they do say, because there's so many pre-orders in brackets, thank you, it's going to take us a few days to get through them all. Please keep an eye out for your shipping confirmation emails over the next few days in the week. So, and we're looking forward to seeing Terry's official report.
This.
I want to see box art. I want to see
Mike Ward and I
shots.
both pre-ordered that.
That's right. You both did. Yeah. So we'll have to make sure Mike's aware of that.
Yeah,
Mike, if you're listening,
I think they started feeling bad that it was taking longer. No one was. I hope no one was giving him shit for it.
They better not.
It's like going to be a groundbreaking kit.
Oh, absolutely.
But they're they started putting extras in there, an extra print of the box art. Just a print.
Yeah, and you got
which is nice, and resin exhaust.
Resin exhaust.
Printed exhausts.
3D printed exhaust, which is nice. Now up here in Canada, our good friends at Lightspeed Global is the distributor up here. You never know; maybe we'll get lucky and they'll have one for Heritage Con. And if they don't have one for Heritage Con,
that would be a good one for the big. The big table on the
that would be
raffle.
There's a hint. There's also one in Toronto. The Toronto group's doing Tourcan in May, and then our group in London, we're doing ours in September. So, okay, Lightspeed Global, if you're listening, hey, wouldn't that make a great Musaru Cup build next? Since I'm next on deck, I'm just saying.
You know what though, large scale aircraft would be a challenge.
I know, and you know what? The guys at Hamilton wouldn't be so kind to me.
90% sure though, the next challenge is going to be armor
or a ship, just to wind me up.
Or a ship,
with photo etch to totally wind me up. I can see that because again, I'm on deck.
Maybe you get lucky, do a 1144 flower class.
That would be sweet. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that because you can get some 3D printed parts, and
you can get stuff.
I know some people in the photo etch business and stuff like that. It could maybe help me with that. So, anyone we know? Oh yeah, wait. Okay, so anyway, okay. Anyway, that's coming out soon. So yeah, look forward to that. Lots of replies already and likes for that. We absolutely like that. So we'll be looking forward to seeing that winging its way from our good friends at Katero. All right, so let's have a quick peek. What's new at ScaleMates? We only recorded a week ago, so I changed the search parameter on the ScaleMates page. So we're looking at detail and conversion sets and full kits that are new tools, just so we'd see a little bit more. So 1/700th, a Greek submarine, the Type 214 from Hellenic Ship Models, and 1/700th. Our good friends at Starling Models, HMS M33. New tool. This is a monitor class. 1350. That's going to be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
They always do some cool things, Starling. Always. What else do we have here?
Look at the Lewis gun. Mark III Lewis gun mounts. Twin mounts, single mounts, I think. With the scarf ring. With the ring.
With the rings from March 7th. I always like to say the date because we record this a little bit later. Yeah, from a company called Mini World. Yeah, 148. Out of
Ukraine.
Yep, out of the Ukraine, and they've got a bunch of things here. Yeah, they've got Japanese 20mm cannon. They've got the twin, the Lewis Mark III and the Mark II on the scarf ring, and they have a strip Lewis Mark I twin MG with shortened radiator on the scarf ring, a Lewis Mark II single on the scarf ring, and looks like a bunch of pilot tubes for various aircraft. Yeah. And then, okay, here we go, Paul. You can also, if you want to have some damage tracks for like your T48 or your T51, you can get some with damaged rubber pads, German magazines, newspapers, 135th, the upgrade part for the T55 for the 1981 modifications from Mirai, A1 Sky Raider. For the 148th, yeah.
Saw this wing folding metal gun barrels.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, one of my favorite aircraft.
Wave has a new, looks like a Gundam. Orange Cat Industry. We got some 3D printed parts, searchlights. A Nissan 400Z detail upset for the 1/24th scale. Exhaust pipes, metal fork, hobby design, 112.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, metal front fork set. Again, the big bikes, people want to do that. We did talk about the Norden bombsight last time. What else? M6 linebacker, the Stinger missile launch box in 135th. Rivets and panel lines, Lycomb engine, 132nd, the R680.
Yeah, Decno's doing some 3D printed.
Ooh, a Gypsy engines. Major. De Havilland Gypsy Major in 132nd. Ooh, that does look attractive. That could be a kit on its own. So yeah, all sorts of goodies. What else we got?
9-cylinder Lycoming as well. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, all sorts of goodies there. What's this? TOS shuttle with crew under the February 24th. We scroll down a bit. Cosmic scale model set. COZMIC 172nd. They've got a Voyager crew figure set and the old series shuttle. Paul, you ever heard of these guys?
I know the name, but I haven't actually seen any of their stuff.
All right, I'm just going to look them up here. See what I've never heard of these guys. 172nd. It's a resin set. They're out of Britain, looks like. Oh yeah, they produced quite a bit. They did okay. They did the Colonial Shuttle Mark II from the original back in 2021 from the original Battlestar, and they've done Eagle pilots, a Type 6 shuttlecraft. Okay. All right, now I know who they are. I remember the shuttle when I saw that. I remember seeing this. Yeah, that's because even in 172nd, that's a big kit. 14 inches long in resin. Not for beginners. But yeah, okay. Now I know who we're talking about.
How can that be 14 inches long when the 1/35th scale is only about that long?
I don't know. Maybe they screwed up their scaling. It says 172nd, 14 and a half inches. This is the older shuttle. It was big from the original series. It was a big ship. So, yeah, good point.
Not that big.
Well,
I was actually lucky enough to go and do measurements on it.
Yeah.
On the original while they were working on the Polar Lights kit. Yeah, it's Gary Kerr who was doing the main research on it. Was like, I can't get to the East Coast, but I'm missing these. Can you drive 5 hours to get these measurements for me? Okay.
Sci-fi modelers appreciate your sacrifice.
Twist my arm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, real sacrifice.
See the shuttlecraft in primer, and then go back a month later to see it when it was all done.
Oh, okay. So was that the original studio model or the one they'd made?
No, this was the original full scale.
Oh, goodness. All right.
That was sitting on the planet and everybody goes running into it.
Oh, okay. Wow. That would have been cool. Wonder what happened to it. Is it still around? Do we know?
It is.
Okay.
I saw it at the end of its restoration. Then it went off to someplace in Texas. Then it was at the aircraft carrier at New York City.
Oh, Intrepid, yep.
Yeah, and then it went into storage, or then it went back to Texas. Then it was into storage. I'm not exactly sure.
Right.
But now, and they're just trying to get space set up for it.
Awesome.
It is at the original Star Trek set tours in upstate New York.
Yes, not far from me on my bucket list.
Yeah. Oh, you've got to go.
I know. I've seen the pictures.
It's freaking brilliant.
Yeah, that's what
I'm going to go again because they're getting a lot of new stuff in.
Yeah. Yeah. At some point, it'll be on my bucket list once I get a passport again and some money. So I'm just going to close out also on the 22nd, right at the bottom. Terry, there's a Piper PAA-48 Enforcer, Aircast Resin 172nd.
Yeah, 172nd. If I want to do the Enforcer, though, I'll
probably you want to do the 48th.
48th.
Okay. Yeah. Well, for those of you, who follow the Kentucky Dave of the One True Scale, then here's one for you. So, all right. So that's all from our good friends at ScaleMates. Okay, let's talk about another good friend. We're going to do a quick ad from our good friend Steve at Cult TV Man. Let's talk about all the new and exciting things at culttvman.com, at culttvmanshop.com, where you can get all your sci-fi needs. A lot of exciting new news. Steve mentioned here there's some new box art from Atlantis, a whole bunch of their upcoming kits. There's going to be a Lighthouse with Light and Diorama base. That's a Lindbergh reissue. The Boeing Beaumark missile, the Revell reissue from Atlantis. This is one I'm kind of excited about. The Boeing SST Transport in 1/400 scale, a reissue from Atlantis. I think that calls for a what-if scheme. And the Scorpion Studebaker Gasser from Keeler's Custom 125th. You can view all the box art right now at culttvmanshop.com. And then also some exciting other new things coming in. Whole bunch of restocks, including some exciting things. The K7 Space Station, the 2023 reissue, that's in 7600 scale. The Marauder, the Havoc Marauder, I should say, from the Bad Batch Star Wars animated series 1-144 from round 2. The Hannibal 1, 2, and 3 Flying Saucers 1/350th. The Snark Missile from Revell, classic reissue 1/48 from AMT round 2. And the Naboo Starfighter from Star Wars The Phantom Menace. Those are all available now for order, and you can get them from culttvmanshop.com. A couple other things I see here finally available. I know some people in my local area. The Creature from the Black Lagoon, the long box from Aurora, is now available, 1/8 scale. A couple of busts from Pestilence Lab, the Doctor and the Monster, both from Young Frankenstein. Gorgeous looking busts there that are cast. So definitely check those out. Always exciting things. culttvmanshop.com, and let them know the Scale Model Podcast sent you. Okay, always good to see what's new there. And Paul, you are a frequent contributor. You occasionally throw some stuff Steve's way. But we are actually going to talk a little bit about what's new at that little company you have called Paragraphics.
Well, thank goodness.
Yes.
Brass has been nearly impossible to get for about the last year, 18 months.
Really?
It's just been awful, and it really hit ahead last fall.
Okay.
My lead times went from sometimes less than a week turnaround with my factory to over 3 months.
My God.
Yeah. I mean,
that can be challenging.
Yeah. It's totally screwed my business. But luckily, over the past 2 weeks, I have gotten in oodles and oodles of etch, which is currently being broken down and packaged up I would say as we speak, except that would imply that there's somebody at the office doing it, and there isn't.
You mean you don't have those thousands of employees?
I do not. I do
Okay,
not.
just
I'm
we should
back to it
remind
just
people of
being
that.
me for
Yeah.
now.
Yep. Exactly.
So, but finally, many people have been waiting on the refit, the 1/350th refit Enterprise, and that will be in full stock as of probably Thursday,
Awesome.
or Friday, depending on how fast I can beat myself to work, at the production line, packaging everything.
Right. So that's for the 1/350th, the original series Enterprise?
No, for the refit.
For the refit. Sorry, you did say that. Yep. Okay, good.
Yeah, still waiting on the etch to come in for the TOS Enterprise.
All righty.
But hopefully soon.
I was going to ask you which ones are the popular ones. So definitely the Enterprise.
Yeah, both of those kits are very, very popular, always in the tops. I mean, those are the big ones. And then it trickles off and everything, has kind of a some of these, some of those, which is what makes it tough to keep inventory. Like, when do I order more?
It's always a challenge.
Yeah.
So just so we're clear, because I'm just looking, this is the one that's marked on the website, paragraphics.biz, we should mention.
Yep.
This is under the 1/350th refit supplemental photo etch set. Is it that one?
No, the regular, the regular 111
one?
set.
The 111 set. Okay, just so I know what I'm talking about. Well,
Yeah.
Okay, good. So there we go. All right. So that's a gorgeous looking set and very reasonably priced. Yeah, exactly. Just what you need to make it just that little bit nicer, right?
Exactly.
Okay. What else?
There isn't a lot that it needs from that.
No.
Other big stuff. Meant to make the announcement yesterday. Got way too busy. Then was make it today, and all the sets showed up, so I got too busy. So you guys have the exclusive, depending on when this hits the interwebs.
Right.
The finally cockpit for the Ares.
Yes, I see you had a little tease for it.
Yep.
So what I'll do, because we're recording this on Tuesday the 7th, but it'll be out on Sunday. But I will, of course, when you put the announcement on your Facebook page, we will of course share it with the world.
Excellent.
So this is cool because you mentioned, and this is what I linked to. You mentioned about the kit parts on the left and the soon to be announced replacement is on the right, so people can really see. And you say, please note, it's the prototype directly from the 3D printer. The final product's currently in the hands of our caster, and the parts will be a perfect fit. It's really cool because people can actually see the difference, and it's pretty obvious there.
Yeah, the shape is so amazingly different.
Yeah.
They totally ignored the fact that the sidewalls angle in, and which makes the view through the window completely different.
Right.
With this angle, it was totally done for movie magic.
Right. Exactly.
So you can shoot through the window and you can see the walls.
Yeah. Sure. So you think you'll be posting this later tonight or tomorrow? The official announcement?
Tomorrow, because I make sure all of my promo sheets go out.
Yeah.
And
okay,
I'll keep my photos.
I will keep my eyes open, and we'll make sure we're quite happily. We love sharing stuff with our good friends of the podcast. Yeah. So that's the Ares. Anything else interesting?
Let's see. I'm working on a project for Polar Lights right now. Can't really go into what it is, but you did mention it earlier.
Okay, good stuff.
And I can't imagine what they'd be coming out with that would need a literal metric boatload of photo etch to go with.
Exactly. No, I know what you're talking about. So, and I think
the extra
modelers
set is going to be 2 full-sized sets of sheets of photo etch.
I think modelers will be very excited when that's officially announced. I agree with you.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah. And this is I had old artwork for the 537th set. and I've gotten in artwork that was given to us,
Right.
by the people who did it.
Yep.
We weren't stealing. Yeah, this is the most accurate photo etch for this set.
For that particular
I almost
item.
said who it was.
Nope. For that particular item, we'll say.
Yes.
Let's say that item. Yeah.
The most accurate that's ever been done.
That's going to be nice because looking at that particular item, there's
a lot of
and it's really tempting, and I'm just like,
Oh, it's going to be worth it.
I agree.
I've got a test shot of the modified parts because I've also got, now I've got, I think, 4 kits of this, with the one variation.
Right.
And they just did a really good job. There are a few minor places where rather than retooling the parts, it's going to be take your X-Acto and cut this piece off.
Oh, okay.
Well,
yep.
But nothing too hard. I mean, I made one modification that, holy cow, hands down, best modeling tool I've gotten, new modeling tool in ages.
Oh, yeah.
I would run upstairs to grab it. It's some bizarre foreign sounding name.
Okay.
I believe made in China with a French sounding name or something, which probably means nothing. It's a little grinder.
Interesting. Okay.
It looks like one of those handheld engraving tools.
Yes. Okay.
But instead of the engraving tool, it comes with a little rotary burr.
Yes. Yes. Someone's been mentioning that in our group, one of our guys who gets a lot of stuff from China. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. If you can do us a favor and take a picture of it and send it to me,
I'll
include it in the show notes. And I know what you're talking about. I hear good things.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Awesome.
I tested it out on this piece, and what would have taken me with a file and sandpaper, an hour to do, I think I did in about 10 minutes.
That's awesome.
And that included the afterwards attacking with sandpaper and files to get it an absolute perfect finish.
Wow. Very cool.
Thing's great.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I also, because we've been talking about the for the 1/1000th USS Voyager, how Sternbrook back designed some decals. And he worked with Decal Alternatives SMS, and I hear those are very popular. I know Steve at Cold TV Man says they've been really selling well. And I see here you mentioned about you've got a photo etch set coming soon again. The 1/1000 for the 1/1000th, the Voyager.
Yep, that's out. Although it is on back.
It's on back order right now,
until later this week.
Well, there you go.
That was part of the big dump that I got.
Yeah, because that's a gorgeous looking set, and I think you'll sell a few of those because people are going to see that, and and again, Rick gave you a hand with detailing that set, including the Aero Shuttle. It's a nice looking kit. It's on my to-do list at some point, and there's some gorgeous things here. You've got the Aero Shuttle model. You've got and this is works with both the standard version and the clear version. The sensor palette parts are made to fit precisely with the kit decals.
Which is again, really just a translucent version, but
still. No, this is, it's awesome. It just makes that nice little better. And you've got easy to install light blocking panels. So if one wants to put electronics in, so this will be great. The other thing I noticed here when I went to your website, and again, this is something that the big boys don't often think about, but this is important. I've always talked about we love what we call the smaller manufacturer because you're dealing with the owner quite often. There's only, as you say, you don't have 1,000 minions down in the basement. It's just you. But you actually discovered that the shipping system you had some issues in early January, and you made it right. You were the shipping system was screwing you over on the UK rate. And you basically, you discovered it and you went, we're going to make it right, and refunded all the orders going to the UK. That is wonderful. And that's an important thing to realize, for the smaller players. They do try and make things right. You're not dealing with a huge company, sometimes with 3 or 4 middlemen. So definitely, keep that in mind. So anything else we want to? I noticed that the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, good for him. Because shipping at the best of times, especially for our friends in the UK trying to ship out right now, they're going through a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare for those guys. Poor guys. I really feel bad. Anything else new you want to chat about, or anything else that you want to mention and remind people? We have mentioned the Ares 1B graphics, cabin graphics, the new parts that have been slowly coming out there. We've been given a lot of stuff to that, but is there anything else that you want to just mention that maybe people aren't aware of?
I think of what I've got, like 18 separate projects going at once.
Yeah, I know.
Which is unlike me. I like to do one at a time, and that's what screwed me up, is not being able to get stuff in. So it hasn't regimented.
It doesn't help. Yeah.
What the heck else am I working on?
I'm just thinking, what else? Like you said, the Ares stuff is beautiful, and
thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing some of those on the table.
Yeah, those should act, depending on my caster. Unfortunately, just had some personal issues yesterday.
It happens.
So what we had hoped was going to be shipping by yesterday, we also actually found, or I found, a couple of errors in one piece that luckily he hadn't started running yet. So that one, I just sent him over new files for that. And then one of the molds, neither one of us noticed that I hadn't printed it at the right angle.
Oops.
So there were steps showing that we didn't notice until it was in rubber. So yeah. So a new master for that is just printed out. It gets cured up tomorrow and then shipped off.
And this is go ahead.
This is for the Ares. So I'm expecting, this is a much shorter lead time than I usually do. That should be shipping hopefully by the end of next week.
Right, good. And that's which one? That's the airlock door, or
the full
all three SKUs
Ares cockpit.
Oh, the right, of course. Yes. Yeah. Do we have a price on that? I'm just trying to. Do we have a price yet on that, or we're still working on that?
I want to say it's going to be, I believe, 125.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, let's see, what is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I think 12 pieces, and then a bunch of the backlight films.
Yeah, so and then that's well deserved. Yeah, exactly. So, again, maybe some people are waiting to do their Ares until that's been released. So, it's gonna be nice.
I get a couple of emails a week. So you finished that up yet?
I know a lot of people bought the kit and they were waiting for you to come out with the stuff, and I'm hearing good things, and this is good. All right. Well, I think that is a good coverage. Of course, you're going to let us know when some of this comes out. Always feel free to flip us an email with some of these. We're always glad to share it.
Absolutely.
Just give us a heads up. I'm glad to share it, and because again, you do some fantastic stuff. So, and again, a lot of the stuff's going to be at Wonderfest through the various vendors. So, make sure you check it out. But if you can't wait till then, Paragrafix, Paragrafix.biz will take you to the website. And, there is a ton of stuff here. And you know what else there is? When you almost all the stuff here, Paul has made the instructions available as PDFs right there. So you can see exactly what you're getting into. Because, we realize sometimes this is for various skill levels. So it's nice to see what it is. And you know what? The instructions are gorgeous as well. I'm just looking at the one here for the Ares passenger cabin graphics. And you've got a nice little, way it looks like the 2001 kind of instructions with the logos and the correct fonts and everything. And very nice and easy. Hey, I even think I could do it. So if I could do it, I'm just saying anyone could.
Yeah.
So keep
well, this is a very easy set. It's just decals and backlight films.
I know, but again, if I can do it, photo etch, it's a different story with me, but that's all right. I will still do that. I've got the 1/350th Discovery at some point. That's in the stash, and who knows what I'll do there. And I've still got Galactica kits and stuff like that. And there's like I said, all sorts of goodies here. So you'll do absolutely fine with getting this. I'm just looking at your 160th Moonbus thruster and rocket set. Yeah, see, again, pretty straightforward. Cut and bend the brass rod. You got good measurements there, and it's tough to screw it up. And if you screw it up, it's your own bloody fault. I'm just saying.
Take your time. That's the biggest thing with the photo etch is just take your time.
Exactly.
It really is. I mean, the first piece I had was with that old power loader from
from Aliens.
Well, the Aliens power loader from what was that? That wasn't Horizon. That was
good question.
No. Shoot, they did all the Alien and Aliens kits, and I've got like half of them down my basement.
You keep talking.
I'm going to a blank as well now.
Yeah, I don't think it was Horizon, but it was in that period, late 90s kind of thing. Anyway, it comes with photo etch, and I'm like, oh, photo etch, scary, ah. So I picked it up and I bent it with my fingers to the right shape, without using a tool or anything, and I stuck it. I'm like, why have I been so scared of this stuff?
Exactly. Yeah, no, and I've used it too. It's just, it comes down to practice too, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And as Terry says, take your time. Positively take your time. I think that's a very, very important thing to think about, and you've also got, let's see here, the Eagle photo etch, Lost in Space is popular. I know the Chariot, Steve's been talking about that on his site.
Yeah. Thank you. That's the one. I have that almost finished up. Steve was nice enough to give me a test shot ages ago.
Good.
And I just haven't had a time to finalize that etch. Now I've finally got to finalize it.
Right. That's going to be a nice one too, because that's a very unique vehicle. Those of us of a certain age remember it well. So
yeah. And Steve's kit is actually more accurate than the larger 1/25th scale kit.
Interesting. Good to know.
Yeah, it's the shape fidelity, especially of the running gear area, is much nicer. The only downside is it's got a one-piece track, or like one-piece running gear and track.
Okay.
So maybe if I ever get around to feeling that motivated, I'll separate it out into all
individual, keep the
individual
happy
wheels, and just figure out how to do the tracks decently.
Yeah, just remind me, what scale is that new one coming out in? What scale?
The new one is coming out in
is it 1/24th?
I think 32nd.
32nd, that sounds right.
Or 32nd or 35th, whichever scale the big Jupiter 2 is.
Okay, I think
it's scaled so you can have it there with it.
35th. Here we go. Yeah, 35th. Yep. Yeah, from Dolan Hobby, his sub company. Yeah, so that's good. That's good to know. Yeah, no, he mentions it. We've talked about it. And that's going to be that's a good size. Well, there you go. Yeah. You can get into individual link tracks. Become an armor modeler. That'll be scary.
Well,
yeah.
Luckily that was all rubber track, so you can make it out of rubber, and it's not totally awful.
Well, and it's a gorgeous thing, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun with the clear plastic and everything, and you get the figures and everything. Yeah, that's a nice looking kit, and we'll look forward to seeing the photo etch. As you say, you've been working away on that, so that'll be awesome. Yep. All righty. Well, thank you again for telling us what's new. Any other big news in terms of licensing or companies taking over other ones? Anything else you want to mention from the sci-fi space or the fantasy aliens monster space?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
That's good. I think it's Aurora. Steve's coming out with some of, including the creature from the Black Lagoon. We have an older modeler in our club, and he is just chomping at the bit for that. He's been waiting for that and looking for one for years. So, and he does quite a few of these. So it's, those are becoming popular. Nostalgia's huge. So you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. All righty. So now that we finished talking about that, let's talk a little bit about what's on our benches. So I'm doing slow but steady work on the Beaufighter. Haven't had a lot of time, but I did finish masking and painting the propellers. And now I'm on to the slow task of masking the canopy. So this time I've got like one of those little plastic cutting boards from AK that has all the lines at different widths. Mm-hmm. I'm using the Tamiya tape. I'm making the thin strips, measuring them off. And, I find that works well. It just takes a while because on the Beaufighter, that front canopy is huge. Bloody huge, no room for error. Haven't done any more painting on the two battle mechs. I hope to do that this week. So yeah, just a lot podcast, and we're doing a lot of show prep, both Jeff and I, for our club show in September, which you will be hearing more of that as it gets closer. Terry, what about you, sir?
Not a lot this last couple of weeks, being sick and just no motivation when that happens. I've been making a little bit of progress on those two Babs kits, though.
Right.
The civil version is pretty much done. The military version of it, I've got the canopy on. Now I just need to, clean it up a little bit from the white glue and all that, and so I can then mask it off and get it into paint. Cool. Not a lot of work to do on it, but greenhouse canopies.
Oh, I know. It's our curse. It's our curse. It's what we live with. Cool.
Yeah. Then I did get in Halberd models, Seahawk and Mustang X kits, and just took them out to take pictures and all that, to do some inbox reviews and all that, and then cutting pour stubs off them.
Very good.
See how the fit works, and they're honestly some of the best resin aircraft kits I have ever seen.
Nice. Well, you'll have to send us some pictures of that.
Good.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Anything else you've been working on, Paul, other than the 9 to 5?
Actually, shockingly enough, I've finally gotten to start using the basically finished attic of my new place.
Yay!
And building some models.
Holy cow.
A couple of my buddies from high school, we chat every week. And so a couple of weeks ago, we got on Saturday nights, Sunday morning for my buddy in Australia.
Right.
He moved there 30 years ago. And we pretend we're in high school. We're all sitting there in our own homes, working on our models, talking just like the three of us are.
Yep, exactly. We do that on Wednesday nights for the London crew. Terry sometimes joins us too. It's great.
Once in a while. It's tough on Wednesdays.
I know it's tough on Wednesday, but he's an official member. So he's got an open.
I do the same gaming with a guy I grew up with and a few other friends.
Yep.
On Friday nights, and we just game and bullshit. And honestly, I look forward to that night.
Yeah, it's good fun. And I say the same thing. It helps my mental health, the build night. It forces me to take a break, sit down at the bench, and do something.
Exactly.
So what are you working on?
What is it? It's something X. The Maria, the new from Metropolis.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yes. Maria from Metropolis. Yeah. My buddy in Australia is going freaking insane. He's cut acrylic. He's basically thrown the base out.
Yeah.
Designed himself new
the discs,
new little little discs underneath, in clear.
I love
made up for lighting, and I'm sitting there going like, well, now do I really want to sit there and because to me it looks like it's clear acrylic.
Yeah.
So it's like I do it in clear because when the lights all come on, it looks like that whole thing is glowing.
Well, you'll have to get some pictures of it, and you'll have to send it. We'll make sure we give credit where credit's due. But that's awesome. Well, I'm glad you're back building again. I know it can be tough because you're doing a business 9 to 5, and you're basically living and breathing it. So sometimes it can be challenging. But good for you.
Yeah,
I'm really happy. I know you were after the move. You weren't going to be able to build for a while, so I'm really glad you're back doing it. Good stuff. Okay, speaking of other good stuff, our good friend at Sean's Custom Model Tools. Let's see what Sean has new. Now we're going to talk a bit about Sean's Custom Model Tools, one of our other sponsors of the Scale Model podcast. Some very cool things, both 3D printed and the Goodman Super Sanding Blocks. Let's start with the Microset and Microsol decal set bottle stand. This is purposely designed for the microscale set and sole. Most modelers over the years, they've tipped these bottles over. So this is a very handy thing. At $14.95, you can put them both together. They're printed in blue and red for easy identification. Comes with a black base, and they actually have little magnets on it, so helps keeps them in place. Definitely a good deal. I use mine all the time, and I can well recommend them. Let's talk a bit about those Goodman Model Super Sanding Blocks, namely the Value Pack Combo for $28.99. You get the 80 grit, 180 grit, 220, 320, 400, and 600. Just an amazing set, just what you need. And you can also, if you want, you can also get a super sanding block stand for it, which also really makes life a little bit easier, helps things keep it organized. The other thing too is they have the awesome model tape dispenser for your various tapes. It's basically a 3D printed thing. You put spools of your tapes. It's got a little razor blade to help cut it, and it's really, really good design. So yeah, works out really well, and yours for $19.95. So check out these and other amazing deals at Sean'sCustomModelTools.com, and also on Facebook, and tell them that the Scale Model Podcast sent you. All right, we're back. Under our things we've seen, this is our random stuff we always have. So I'll start. Arrma's finally got up on their website, on their web store, the 1/48 scale Hurricane Mark II, the expert set. Coming soon, finally. I keep trying to email them, but I think they still have that restraining order against me. No, I'm kidding. I'm really looking forward because I built the 1/72 scale, and if it's anything close, it's going to be unbelievable. Similar to like what we call like a wingnut wings. We should just call these guys, the European wingnut wings. Just beautiful kits they build. So the Hurricane looks like it's going to be very nice. They've got some shots of it, and it looks gorgeous. So no price yet, but I'm sure it will be worth it. It's definitely on my to purchase list this year. Maybe I can convince them to send me a review copy. Maybe they'll let me send one more before, calling the lawyers on me for all the bugging. It's been delayed a lot, but 3 gray sprues, 1 clear sprue, 3 marking variants. Also includes canopy and wheel masks, which I think all kits should come with, or at least canopy masks. I can do my own wheel mask, but canopy masks make life so much simpler. So that's nice to see from our good friends at Arrma. Yeah. And then Terry and I both saw this one yesterday or today. Where I gotta wait for it to load, from Furball Aero Design. I love this. He says this probably won't appeal to everyone, but the other day I opened up my Hobby Boss YF23 kit. This is the 48 scale one, and realized the details that are included are total garbage. So then I thought, maybe it would be interesting to do a set with the 2 prototype options, but also a few what if schemes. I'll preview the sheet shortly. So he is working on it. And then what's good is I've included the Facebook thread in the show notes, but people have been commenting and showing a lot of their what ifs. And this is awesome. So someone did a navalized version, an F23N, with little leading edge canards, and there's some cool stuff. I did a 72nd scale one in Canadian markings as part of my series. Someone did a Japanese one. It's really cool to see, because I always liked the YF23. People don't realize how nice it was. Yeah, and these will of course be he does all the stuff with Cartograph decals, and this is actually good. He actually replied, because someone asked, well, how do you do this? And he says, I design them with graphic design software. Then I send the file to Cartograph in Italy. They do exquisite work, but I have to get sets printed in batches of 500. So it's kind of neat to know. And this is why sometimes, you modelers out there, you're wondering, well, how come I can't get this for this really obscure thing? Well, and again, Paul will tell you as well, as a small manufacturer, you got to make some money, and you got to make sure, they have the margins, to do it.
Yeah. Well, and he was saying right there, with that minimum,
yeah,
that's why I have Alps printed decals, because there's no way
Yep.
I'd still be using up stock for my first product from my first order 15 years ago.
Yep.
If I was buying 500 sheets of decals at a time.
Yep. It really depends. So they really have to look. So yep. I thought that was neat. And that's what, like I said, I appreciate. I do know the person's name behind this, and I cannot remember it. My apologies. But he's always been fairly open with his stuff and, behind the scenes, just similar to you, Paul. He always.
Oh, with Furball?
Yeah.
He's a frequent guest on Model Geeks.
That's right. Yeah. So he's been around. He's very open, and this is what's good. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, because one thing that struck me about the YF-23, even in 72nd scale, it's a big aircraft.
It is a big airplane.
Yeah, I was blown away by how big it was in 72nd. So the 48th one, that'll look really pretty. So yeah, I saw that and I thought, well, good stuff. I think that's going to be a fun set when it comes out. Okay, what have you got, Terry?
I've been following on Aircraft Resource Center, and I put a link on the to Facebook there. Oliver Daring has been building this H-34, and it's just a stunning build. That second link there is a little one for the for a group of photos,
right?
And it's just that link doesn't work.
That's okay. We'll fix it later.
But if you look at Aircraft Resource Center and just go to search down to Oliver Daring's it's the engine he built separately out and sits in the cowl in there just like it would normally. All the plumbing works, not works, but all the plumbing set up and everything, and it's just seeing this kind of work done is really, it's kind of inspiring to remember that it can be done this well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And that's what always makes it fun. I love seeing, this is one of the things I love about going to shows, is because there's so many people out there that don't necessarily post to the social medias or have their own website or something like that. And it's always neat to see the amazing work people do. We're starting to see some of the shows out of the US, with some of our friends down there. They've been posting stuff, and it's just been, absolutely amazing. So that'll be fun. We're looking forward to. We'll make sure we have the corrected link by the time we post this.
Yeah.
So it'll be in there. All righty. Anything else interesting you've seen, Paul?
Nothing really new. Nothing that we haven't already talked about.
No worries.
Or hasn't been mentioned on the show.
There you go.
Couple of weeks.
See, we like to make sure we cover all our bases. So we should point out season 3 of The Mandalorian started, and Star Trek Picard episode 4 is out this week. I'm enjoying Picard. I love the USS Titan. I love the design of that. I'm a design geek. So that looks very nice. So just, lots of good sci-fi coming out there. All righty. So once again, Paul, I want to thank you for popping in. You, as of always, you are welcome back anytime.
Well, thank you.
You are one of our VIP members of the podcast. We also have a link to your store
really
on our webpage.
The bottom, aren't you?
I know.
Well,
you know what? If I have Steve on, then I know. I'm just kidding. No, we have a link to your store on our main page, as well as one of our supporters. We've appreciated what you've done over the years as well. So yeah, definitely check them out. All right. Last but not least, Brett and Chrissy at Return to Kit Form. They always have some amazing stuff. This is your non-North American distributor, worldwide distributor for Moscato Hobby Models. Always cool things coming out from there. A lot of Macross stuff, canopy masks, awesome stuff. I might have a few again. They might end up on the raffle table at Heritage Con. Beautiful stuff for your Macross kits. I've got a couple of more. Our local store managed to get a link so we can order some more Macross. So I've got a VF11 and a VF21, I think, coming in 1/72nd scale.
All right.
So I'm looking forward to those. Cool. Again, I might do those again in my What If Canadian scheme, keeping with that theme. I've been really enjoying that. All sorts of stuff, whether it's resin or other normal kits. Again, the Moscato stuff, check those out. Lots of goodies there. Definitely your source. And also, they do have some of the super sanding blocks as well from Mr. Goodman. So make sure you check those out as well. So yeah, it's the VF11. That's what I'm getting. The VF11 Thunderbolt, just the regular one, not the Super, and the 21, the regular 21. I'm not. You know what? I know a lot of people like seeing the booster packs on those. They have a purpose. I just don't like them. They take away the cleanness of the aircraft, but that's okay. That's all right. So yeah, so make sure you check them out. Return the number 2 kitform.com. And once again, tell them the Scale Model Podcast sent you. As always, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we also have our very own page where we have the most awesome show notes. Reviewers have told us this. scalemodelpodcast.com. Make sure you check that out. We've also got a group page for all the various modeling podcasts, modelpodcast.com. So if you're interested in this and you want to hear some other ones, check that out. Go to modelpodcast.com. It's a random list there. And you know what's really good? Over the years, from starting with 1 or 2 podcasts, all the podcasts, they have their own little niches and styles. So, if for whatever reason, I can't believe it, you don't like us, maybe check out one of the other ones. Maybe that's more to your taste, or vice versa. But I'd be very surprised. So definitely check that out. All right. So for episode 112 of the Scale Model Podcast, my name is Stuart Clark.
I'm Paul Bodensee.
And I'm Terry Measley, reminding you to take a break and take your time.
Attaboy. Perfect. Thank you, and be well.